Okay, is it visible? Oh, can I start the class?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. So, good morning, students. Today our topic is objectives of cost volume profit analysis. Objectives of cost volume and profit analysis. In the last class, we discussed about the discuss about what is cost, what is volume, and what is the profit, and also that is we discuss about what is the relationship between cost, volume, and profit. So in today class we are going to discuss about objectives of cost, volume, profit analysis. First of all, that is the first objective is in profit planning. It is essential to know the relationship between cost, volume, and profit. So profit planning. Profit planning means that is for gaining the profit. If the company wants to gain more and more profits, so in this situation, that is the company fixes highest price. And at the same time, if the company's main target is not the profit, it is the quantity of sales. So in these situations, that is the company fixes very less price upon the product. So that is depending upon the cost, volume, and profit. That is, it is essential to know for fixing the profit of a product. It is essential to know the relationship between cost, volume, and profit. And the next objective of the cost, volume, profit analysis is of that is for making a budget decision. For flexible budget decision, the companies uses the cost, volume, profit analysis. Budget, we know about the budget. Budget means that is the allotment of resources. That is the if the company is ready to invest the amount in the organization. So in these situations, so depending upon our investment, so how to allot the money? So the companies are allotted the money to different departments depending upon their importance. For example, if the company allotted more amount to the production department, so it gives huge profits in future. So in these situations, that is the company is ready to allotted the company is ready to allotted more amount to a production department. And in the same way, if the company's main target is that is the human resource department, that is if the company's human resource, if it invests the amount for giving more and good training to the employees, it is more beneficial and more profitable to the company. So in these situations, that is the company spend more amount on a human resource department. So like that is depending upon the profits of a company, that is the organization distributed or allotted the resources, that is the maintenance of or making of a flexible budget decision. And the next type of the decision area of a cost, volume, profit analysis is make or buy decision. So make means manufacturing, buy means purchasing. That is the company has two options. That is the company has two options for producing the output. That is the first option is purchase the raw material from outside, and the second option is that is to manufacture the raw material by its own. That is the to manufacture the raw material in the company. So these are the two options for a company. For example, if you take as a car manufacturing company, so the car manufacturing company has that is some companies are manufacture their cars and their spare parts also, but some companies are ready to assemble the cars. They do not manufacture their spare parts. For example, some companies are purchasing the spare parts such as tires from one company, and at the same time that is an engine from one company and other parts from other companies. So that is by purchasing the spare parts from different sources, and they are ready to assemble the car. So like that is the depending upon the profits. If the assembling the parts is very beneficial to the company, so the company is ready to buy the raw material. And at the same time, if the spare parts are also produces in our company, the spare parts also produces by their own, so it is beneficial or it is profitable to the company. So automatically in these situations, the company is ready to manufacture. So that is in this make or buy decisions, the cost, volume, profit analysis is very important, because the production of output is a huge quantity. So the company is ready to take risk for manufacturing the raw materials also. And next one is the pricing decision. Price means that is to fix a particular price to the product. So depending upon the cost of the production, that is to fix the price for a product. Selection of product mix, that is for selecting a suitable product mix, that is the organization take the help of a cost volume profit analysis. And the best channel of distribution, best channel of distribution. So for that is for marketing the product in a market, for marketing the product in a market, each company chooses its own channel, or each company chooses its choice of the channel. For example, some companies are chooses the online shoppings, that is online sales, and some companies are ready to choose the product in a nearby market, and some companies are ready to take risk for selling the output in a export market also. So like that, depending upon the quantity of output, cost of production, and the profit target of a company, that is it chooses the best channel of distributions. If you produce a less quantity of output, so it is not necessary that is to sell the output in a online or in a other countries. So that is next one is the best method of production, best method of production. So depending upon the company's quantity of production and the company's profit of the target of the profit and the cost of the production, that is the organization chooses the best method which is suitable for the company. For example, if the company produces huge quantity of output, that means in this situation it chooses the mass production. For example, if you take as a water bottles or drink bottles or their caps, so these are the mass productions. That means that at a time the company produces at a time thousands of bottles at a time. So in these situations the company choose the mass production. And at the same situations, that is if the company wants to produce a boat or aeroplane, so in these situations, that is the company produces single piece at a time. There is a company produces only a single boat or only a single aeroplane. So in this way, the company chooses the another type of a single type of a production process. So in this production method, in this cost volume profit analysis, that is the company choose the best method of production. And next one is for the area of control. The cost volume profit analysis is of general assistance. So these are the different objectives of a cost volume profit analysis. Is that is the first objective is that is for profit planning, and next of all for a flexible budget preparation, and next one is for make or buy decision, pricing decision, and best channel selection, best method of production. And last one, that is the for area of control also, that is a cost volume profit analysis is very useful. And the next topic is that is what is the break even analysis. Break even analysis, the study of cost volume profit relationship is referred to as the relationship, that is to study about what is the relationship between cost volume and profit is referred to as break even analysis. We know about the relationship between cost volume and profit. So cost means that is the expenses which are incurred for producing a particular quantity of output. Volume means quantity. Depending upon the quantity, the cost of the product changes. That is, if you produce a single output, so the cost of production is very high. And at the same time, that is, if you produce a huge quantity of outputs, that is more units of output, so the cost of production per unit decreases. And depending upon this, that is the profit for the company also increases as well as decreases. So in this relationship is also called as a break-even analysis. And the break-even analysis, we use this break-even analysis in a narrow as well as in a broad sense. So in a narrow sense, what is the importance of break-even analysis is, that is the in a narrow sense to find the break-even point. The break-even analysis main importance is to finding the break-even point. So finding break-even point. What is the break-even point? Break-even point means no profit and no loss point. That is no profit and no loss point. So you have a doubt, that is a no profit and no loss. Without profit, why the organization is ready to take risk for producing an output? That is in this way, that is the what is the benefit of break even point is no profit and no loss. No profit and no loss. So no profit and no loss means that is the cost of the output production is equal to the income to the organization. For example, if a company produces 10,000 units of output and its expenses, that means overall our total cost is 10,000 rupees. And if the company sell these 10,000 these output in a market, so the income to the company also 10,000 rupees. Income to the company also 10,000 rupees. That means in this way the total cost is equal to total revenue. That means no profit and as well as no loss. So why the company is ready without the profits to produce the output and sell in the market? Because that is in some situations, if the company is in a very competitive or it in a peak situations, that is the company is ready for selling the output in a market without profits. Because if the company is in losses, so automatically that is the company survive in the market as a 3 years or 4 years. That is if the company is in losses. So after the 3 or 4 years, that is the company amalgamize or it is ready to close the company because it is in losses. But without loss and without profit, there is a chance that is the company is waiting for the opportunities. The company is waiting for the opportunity because there is no loss to the company by running the organization. By running the or by producing the output, there is no loss. So there is a chance to the company that is for waiting the opportunities in the market. That is 3 years or after 4 years. If the opportunity is available, automatically it gain more and more profits because there is no profit and no loss. So the break even point tells that is to produce the quantity of output. To produce the quantity of output that is at the point of a break even point, that means no profit and no loss point. In this way the total revenue is equal to total cost. So this is a narrow sense. The break even analysis importance is in a narrow sense, that is a to finding the break even point, and in a broad sense to determine the probable profit at any level of production. Determine the probable profit at any level of production and determining the volume of sales at a given point of profit, and determine the volume of sales at a given amount of profit. It is the broad sense. So in narrow sense, that is the company runs the break-even analysis find that is what is no profit and what is no loss. But in broad sense, it is ready to determine the profit at any level of production and determine the quantity of sales at a given amount of profit. So this is the break-even point chart. This is the break-even point chart. So this is a fixed cost, variable cost, break-even point, profit and loss. So that is about this point. That is the P. The P is the center for it is a break-even point. That is after crossing the P, there is no profit and no loss. Below the P level, that is the loss to the company. That is below the P level, that is OP, that is at that point, that is the company runs in losses. If you cross the point, if you cross the point, so automatically it is break even point. That means no profit and no loss point. So this is the break even point chart. So these are the fixed cost, variable cost. What are the fixed cost? Fixed cost means that is the land, building, machines and equipment. Those are also called as a fixed cost. And variable cost are called as that is the raw material, labor, wages. So those are all called as a variable cost. So in this point, that is it covers the break even point, covers the fixed cost completely, and that is the variable cost completely, and at the same time that is it covers some of the amount of fixed cost also. So automatically that is it gives no profit and no loss to the company. That is by covering the fixed and variable cost. That is if you observe, that is the quantity of output is on x-axis and the cost are on y-axis. So if you observe the break-even point chart, OA represents the variation of income at varying level of production activity. OB represents the total fixed cost. As output increases, total fixed cost also increases. At low output, cost is greater than income. If the quantity of output is very low, the cost is greater than income. At an intersection point, cost is equal to income, that is called as a break-even point. That is the intersection point, the cost is equal to revenue, so that is called as a break-even point. So this is the fixed cost, variable cost. So that is the output increases, total fixed cost also increases. Low output cost is greater than income. So what are the cost? So already in the last class we discussed about different cost concepts. That is, different cost are long run cost, short run cost, fixed cost, variable cost, explicit, implicit, book cost. So these are the different type of cost concepts. So what are the cost incurred to the organization in short run? What are the cost incurred to the organization in short run? So that is called as a cost in a short run. If you observe the table, if you observe the table, that is the, these are the outputs are a 0 to 4 as a outputs, that is a quantity of output, and TFC as a total fixed cost, TVC as a total variable cost, TC as a total cost, and next one is average variable cost, average fixed cost, average total cost, and last one is marginal cost. That is, if you observe this table, that is for a quantity as a for 100 units, for 0 units of production, that is without production, but the fixed cost is 100 rupees. And at the same time, if you produce one output, the fixed cost also 100 rupees. If you produce 2, 3 or 4 units, but the fixed cost does not changes, because once you purchase the building or once you purchase the machine, so the cost of the machine or the rent for a building or a equipment or a other charges, that is the fixed cost does not changes depending upon the quantity of output. If you produce zero output, that means without output production, or if you produce 5, 4 or 6 units of output, but the fixed cost is constant as a 100 rupees. Next one is variable cost. So variable cost means that is a raw material cost, labor charges, fuel, power. So these are all called as a variable cost. If you produce zero output, there is no variable cost. That means without production, there is no labor wages and there is no raw material purchasing. And there is no need of electricity, that means power and fuel. So that is the, with zero output, that is a variable cost is also zero. If you increase the quantity of output, automatically the variable cost increases as a 30, 54, 72 and 96. So total cost means that is a total of fixed cost plus variable cost is called as a total cost. That is the 100 plus 30, 130, 154, 172 and 196. That is total cost means that is the total of fixed and variable cost. And next of all, the average cost, average variable cost. So variable cost I told, that is the variable cost means if the production occur, so the cost is incurred to the organization. Without production, there is no variable cost. So like that, that is if the at zero output, the variable cost is zero. And if the quantity of output increases, as a for a 30 units or for a 1 unit of output, the variable cost is 30. And that is automatically for a 2 units of output, the variable cost is 54 by 2. For 72 units of output, the variable cost is 72 by 3 as a 34. And at the same time, that is these are the different type of the average variable cost. So average, we take the average cost as a, that is the variable cost by number of unit quantity of output. So it gives a average variable cost. Next of all, average fixed cost. So this average fixed cost means once it is fixed and there is no change depending upon the quantity of output, that is a average fixed cost. That is for if the fixed cost is 100 rupees, so the average is for a first 1 unit is 100 by 1 and the fixed cost is 100 rupees same. The output, if you produce 2 output, automatically the average fixed cost is only 50 rupees. And if you produce 3 units, so 100 by 3, that is 33.3. So automatically the average fixed cost decreases by increasing the quantity of output. So the total of average total cost means the average variable cost plus average fixed cost. It gives a average total cost. And last one, marginal cost. So marginal cost, so that is without output there is no marginal cost. That is for zero output the marginal cost is nil. And if you produce 1 units of output, the marginal cost is 30 rupees. And if you produce 2 additional units of output, automatically the marginal cost as a 54 as a total variable cost minus 30 as that is a marginal, that is a first 1 unit variable cost is equal to 24. Like that 72 minus 54 as a 18, and like that 96 minus 72 as a 24. These are the marginal cost. So this is the cost in short run. That is in short run the different type of the cost are total variable cost, total fixed cost and total cost, and at the same time average variable fixed and total cost, and as well as a marginal cost. So these are the different cost in a short run. So if you observe the short run curve, if you observe the short run cost, that is similarly where average total cost is falling, marginal cost is below average total cost. Marginal cost is below, that is if you observe below, that is it is below the average total cost. So this is the first line is the average total, that is the blue line which is below the marginal cost. The marginal cost curve is a blue pink color, and the average total cost is a blue color. So this average, if you, and at the same time the average variable cost is below the average total cost, and the last or first line is that is the average fixed cost, which is the like as a green color. So if you observe this short term cost curve, the average total cost is falling, the marginal cost is below average total cost. Where average total cost is rising, marginal cost is above average total cost. If the average cost total cost is rising, the marginal cost is above average total cost. That is, if the average cost is falling, marginal cost is below average total cost. Whereas average total cost is rising, that means increasing, the marginal cost is above average total cost. All the minimum average total cost, marginal cost equals to average total cost. So this is the short-term cost curve. If you observe this short-term cost curve, average total cost curve is also U-shaped. The marginal cost curve is very special. Whereas average variable cost is falling, marginal cost is below average variable cost. Whereas average variable cost is rising, the marginal cost is above average variable cost. So in this graph, that is, it tells the relationship between average total cost and marginal cost. Whereas that is average total cost is falling, marginal cost is below average total cost. Whereas average total cost is rising, marginal cost is above average total cost. But in this graph, that is, I discuss about variable cost and marginal cost relationship. If average variable cost is falling, the marginal cost is below average variable cost. Whereas average variable cost is rising, marginal cost also above average variable cost. All the minimum average variable cost, marginal cost equal to average variable cost. This is the graph for a short-run cost. So in the short-run cost curves and product curves are observed. The shape of a firm's cost curve are determined by the technology it uses. That is, a shape it forms as a U shape or curve. It is depends upon the technology as we uses. Marginal cost is at its minimum at the same output level at which marginal product is at its maximum. That is, the marginal cost is at its minimum at the same output level, but the marginal product is also at its maximum. When marginal product is rising, marginal cost is falling. Marginal product is rising, marginal cost is falling. The average variable cost is at its minimum at the same output level at which average product is at its maximum. So when average product is rising, average cost variable cost is falling. Average product is rising, the average variable cost is falling. So this is a short-run cost curve. That is, if you observe the short-run cost curve, So at the marginal cost, it is below the average variable cost, and the average variable cost is, that is the point where the average variable cost and marginal cost intersect. So that gives a minimum cost of production to the company. So this is a short term average total cost. So this is also the short run cost curve, average cost and marginal cost in a short run. That is, if you observe, the marginal cost is below the average cost, and the point where the marginal cost is equal to average cost, that means average cost is constant. And that is, if you observe in the left side, that is the marginal cost is less than average cost, as average cost is falling. And in the right side, marginal cost is greater than average cost, that means average cost is rising. So this is the cost and this is the quantity of output. So that is a relationship between average cost and that is the changes in average and marginal cost in a short run. If output increases, average fixed cost will decreases. If quantity of output increases, so automatically the fixed cost is constant. Depending upon the quantity of production, there is no change, or quantity, there is no change in a fixed cost. That means if you purchase a machine, so the machine cost is constant. That is the, if you produce 10,000 units, 20,000 or only 5,000 units, but there is no change in a cost of a machine. But if you increase the quantity of output, automatically the machine cost decreases per unit. Decreases per unit. I already told in a last class, that is, if you purchase a machine for 1 lakh rupee and if you produce 1 lakh units, so the machine cost per unit is 1 rupee. And at the same time, that is, if you produce 2 lakh units with the help of this machine, so the unit per unit cost is only 50 paise. And at the same time, that is, if you produce only 50 units, the machine cost is 2 rupees. That means by increasing the quantity of output, that is the machine cost per unit decreases. That means the if output increases, average fixed cost will decreases. The average variable cost is U-shaped because it falls in beginning. When output increases, average variable cost falls, but after a particular level, it rises because of law of returns or law of diminishing returns. But after a particular level, the average variable cost rises, because the reason is, we know about the law of returns or law of diminishing returns. What is the law of returns or law of diminishing returns? I explained this law in a second unit first class as a different type of the factors. That is the one variable input factor, two variable input factor. In one variable input, two variable input factor and multiple variable input factors. In one variable input factor, and that means that this is called as a law of diminishing returns. That is at the initial stage, that is by increasing more and more input, the output quantity increases. And in the second stage, that is by giving more and more output, the more and more input, the output increases but at a decreasing rate. At the final stage, if you give more and more inputs, the output quantity also decreases. So that is called as a law of return or law of diminishing returns. So that is, it is the condition. The variable cost curve is formed as a U-shape, if you observe in the graph, because that is in the beginning when output increases, by variable cost falls, but output increase when output increases, but after reaching a certain level, the variable cost also rises. So this is the reason is law of returns or law of diminishing returns. What is the behavior of cost in short run? What is the behavior of cost in short run? The average total cost is equal to average variable cost plus average fixed cost. I told that is average, that is a total cost is equal to variable cost plus fixed cost. It is nearer to average fixed cost at the initial stage, because the higher average fixed cost at initial levels of output has greater influences on average total cost. As output increases, average fixed cost decreases, but average total cost increases because the average variable cost increases by increasing the quantity of output. So by this reason, that is average fixed cost decreases, but average total cost increases. And influence of average fixed cost decline. Average total cost curve never touches average fixed cost, but the average, if you observe this situation in a graph, the average total cost curve never touches the average fixed cost. Average fixed cost or marginal cost curve is also U-shaped. It is also U-shaped. It falls in beginning and rises through minimum point of average variable cost at R and minimum point of average total cost at S. In this, marginal cost is less than average cost. When average variable cost is falling, marginal cost is greater than average cost. When average variable cost is rising, the average cost is equal to marginal cost. When average cost, marginal cost are constant, in short term, variable cost is variable. That is if the marginal cost is less than average cost, then average variable cost is falling. Marginal cost is greater than average cost when average variable cost is rising. The average cost is equal to marginal cost in some situation when average cost and marginal cost are constant. In short run, variable cost is also variable. So today we discuss about the behavior of cost in a short run. So thank you. Next class we discuss about the short run with clearly with the help of a graph. Thank you.